All right, guys, what's going on? It's Josh Answers here, and today I'm going to talk about how I recently, about I think yesterday, 2 days ago, turned 25 bucks into 100, and now I'll show you the play. We're going to talk about how we got it, and I even said in 10 minutes I want to discuss a few things and what it relates to. And there's a lot of things you could learn from this play. This is an options trade, so again, you don't need to trade penny stocks to make these gains. You could play stuff a lot serious. You'll see the company I played, CSX. A lot of you guys know what they do. They're one of the biggest rail car companies in the world. They even own some real estate. And yeah, so let's get into it. If you guys like this video, like it, subscribe. I'm going to post more videos. I might do 4 a day. I know it sounds crazy, but everything on this channel, it's going to be stock trading, entrepreneurship, real estate. So anything about business, making money, you're in the right place. So getting into it, what play I made was CSX, like I said. And the first part I want to highlight is, there's two main parts. One, look at the time frame on the option. This was August. So you guys saw me do, a nice 1,000% gainer on one of my last videos. And it's a weekly. This wasn't a weekly. This one had a month of time, still a shorter duration. But again, when I'm looking through a chain, it's not all about the shorter term options. I'm looking for a good deal. Simple as that. What's going to get me the best risk reward? So even on the CSX, for the same 25 bucks, the risk reward, I probably would have made more money on the, maybe we could even go check right now. I haven't checked and you guys could see the difference. So if we look at the weeklies comparatively, it just seemed like a better odds. I got what was it? A 70 call. So, and CSX is actually down now. So again, I didn't even go in the money and I made money on it. But let's say we did the July 20th, July 30th. Let me link this up so we could see the price. If we see what other, what 25 bucks could have got me if I got like a 68, where is it? Yeah, it was about the same thing. Even if I got something at 20 cents, 25 cents, it would have went up to $1.20, and that's what mine hit. So again, it just made more sense to get an extra month of time, $2 further out of the money, and it did clip 70, I believe, or got near there, but that was the logic. So, again, time frame, and then two, now understand the company I picked, and I'm going to even show you guys the filing and how I went through. This was an earnings play, what made me identify this company, why I liked it. But right away, or right off the bat, I want you guys to understand this isn't Amazon, this isn't Netflix. Clearly, you don't have to play these options or these stocks and get the options on them of these big companies. And truthfully, I'm making these gains. If you guys see the last few companies I've traded, most of you guys probably don't play them, or you're not even aware of it. CSX is a boring company, literally rail cars. But again, if you have the information related to, what I look at in terms of global economies, how transportation is related to other industries, and you're looking at it from an economic perspective, it's easy to see why this play always stands out to me. And I'll even make another play. I blew 1,000, I think a 2,000% gainer yesterday. I was mad. Similar concept to why I played this. Maybe I'll give you guys a quiz. They reported today or yesterday they had a crazy move, and you would have killed it on the options, and the logic is going to be the same. So that's what I'll talk about here. And the last final part I want you guys to understand is the slippage. So when you go see the play, I bought it for 25 cents, open amount 25 bucks, net amount $30, and then close amount $94 or $1. You see, you're losing money. So even though it was 25 bucks to $100, and I want you guys to see a play like this so you can see, hey, it's one of those $50 a day, $100 a day strategies. You do one of these, it's easy, But the downside with this is, with any trade, you guys need to understand, when you're buying something, the commissions you're paying when you buy it, when you sell it, and in general, there's a difference. This is just the net revenue amount, not necessarily profit. If I bought for 25, sold for 100, there's only $75 in profit. Make sure you understand that when trading options, because it's not as if you're making 400%. You're really only making, 150, 200%. So I want you guys to really, really understand that and get a grasp of that. So I think I had one more point with it. Oh, the time frame. Like I said in the title, I made this in 10 minutes. I didn't really do this in 10 minutes, but I kind of did. And this is how you're going to avoid the pattern day trading rule. is based on the fact that I bought this right before the company reported. So I didn't have a position in this, and again, think about that. I bought it the day of earnings, the day before, right before it closed, and they reported earnings. And if you're not familiar with earnings, let me know. I'll make a video on it and how to identify these a little better and understand the process. I have that Netflix live stream we did with the conference call, so you could kind of get an idea. Excuse me. But the whole idea was, I got it for that cheap. I had a time on it. It was a solid play. And now we're going to discuss why I got a call. I didn't get a put. I didn't go both ways. It was a pretty good opportunity. I think I got a 10-cent put on it. But at the end of the day, what you're getting to see from this is that you could avoid the pattern day trading rule. You don't need a day trade. I literally bought it 10 minutes before close. It reported instantly, shot up, sold right in the morning. So yeah, it theoretically took 10 minutes, but it actually took 24 hours. But again, if you wanted to play a larger play on that, or if in general you play a couple of these once or twice a week, that's a great way to start just building an account. Be slow, don't trade a lot, and you'll do pretty well. So that's how you can avoid the pattern day trading rule. Is simply, if you buy a stock 1 minute before close, sell it the next day. It's technically kind of a day trade. You got to wait till close, but you don't get hit with any of those penalties. And really, that's my way of doing things. I prefer that rather than day trading. I will go over a day trade I made on Riot blockchain that you guys could see. It was a mix of a day trade. I had a chance to, I doubled up on my money, sold out right away, and then I went and bought, and I held some for the next day, which I'm still holding, which I'll talk about in another video. So now that we got all that out the way, let's talk about the actual logic and how I got to there. I looked at the filings and well, I already had familiarity with this company, but just to, always double check. And so you guys too, if you ever want to look at the filing of a company, you could get them many ways. I go to NASDAQ, NASDAQ.com, enter in the symbol, scroll down to here where it says SEC filings, and these will load up. So now this was the latest 10Q or their quarterly filing. What we want to go down to is find the latest 10Q, and it's usually the day before it. They drop a 8K, which is pretty much it's the quarterly statement, but the immediate release one with everything kind of, broken up in digestible bites. And really, when you even see what happened with, this company and railroads and what's been going on is that from, 1-2 years ago with oil dropping, oil finally rebounding, when oil was down, we were getting killed, when there's some issues with China, but mainly oil, because, think about how much oil gets transported by trains. They're not throwing that shit on planes, sending it across, and there's only so much you could do with semi trucks and boats. So that's why railroads are very important to this day. It's something we overlook. A lot of us are just, we don't put two and two together to think, why, none of us, when was the last time you went on a train? Not if you're not in New York, So this is what's going on. And when you even see their last filing, this was their last filing in April. They had a gap up to, and again, you want these companies that, and when I like to play them, I like the companies that are either at the top or at the bottom. I don't like, if it was in this middle range, that leaves too much room for nothing to happen, which kills you when you're trading options. If it's high, you could get a cheap put and a good call long term. If it goes up, boom, you kill it. If it drops, it could have a way down. Or, if you buy something when it's at the lower end of the point, it's extremely, undervalued relative price wise. I'm not saying fundamentally to where it was prior, then, you might be able to get a good opportunity, get a good move. And that's what was happening with CSX. They had a good report last quarter, but they were still in this range, still edging up towards the top kind of. They had a chance to slip and fall or really go up. It was at a decent spot. The options were cheap, but now too, their business was greatly changing. Their last quarter, they announced record earnings, and they did earnings of $695 million or 78 cents per share versus 362 million or 39 cents per share. So think about that. Their net profit doubled, and they did that in a year, year over year. So you could see the trajectory. Oil is now at 120. Oil prices are going higher. That means that demand for oil is going up. People are shipping it more. It's not just oil sitting in cars and having those issues. There was a lot of things going for it. And when you really just look even quarter by quarter, how much money they were making with their operating activities, it was pretty phenomenal, honestly. Let's see if we go down. you could even, I don't want to spend too much time going through it to not, there's a lot of many parts to understand, but I guess I'll keep it simple. Fact is, they were doing really, really well from the last quarter. They were on trajectory of setting new record highs, and they already did it. They were doubling their earnings from last year. So pretty much, if you look at it year over year, chances are they were going to do a lot more profit than they did last time. And even then, with oil doing good and everything else, it provides a great opportunity for them to make money. So in general, you could even, and then again, understanding the industry of what type of company this was and the things that went on with, why the oil industry has affected the rail cars and why there's more demand. That's what I wanted to go over, but it could get kind of difficult. They even outline how much they spend, what areas they're making money in, how much they're charging for fuel, how much they're charging per, trip and all that stuff. And once you kind of get it, I encourage you to read through this, and maybe we'll do that as a challenge. And if it's this is where it gets boring. This is the fundamental stuff, but you don't need to know all of it to successfully make the trade. But you do need to just get an idea of how business is operating, what's good business, what's not, and and that's when you make an option play. Especially, an option is a gamble. You have to just put the odds in your favor and see, hey, this is what it is, because an earnings play is a toss up at the end of the day. And, it's just kind of finding metrics to where the price of the options in your favor, the data's in your favor. There's a better chance of, stuff happening your way than not. But at the end of the day, with the flip of a switch, something could happen and that could change. And another part I'll add lastly, because CSX is actually hitting new highs, if we see where that contract is at, I got the August 17th 70 call. It's still at the same price, and that's kind of the cool part about getting time. It holds stability. It was at 130. I didn't get to sell it out. I sold it out at the dollar point, so which was great. But in general, this contract has times. I usually would have kept this earlier, but I only had one of them, and I wanted to gain, and I wanted to even show you guys, hey, I want to make videos showing you just what you could do, just snagging $50 here, $100 here, $500 here, $1,000 here. It really adds up, and you could do a lot. You're 9 out of 10 times you're going to be happier you took the profits than held it trying to get something. So I'll leave you guys with that. If you like that, drop a comment. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell, get notifications, and let me know what points you want me to elaborate on. And what do you guys think about this many videos in one day? I would love your thoughts on that. Love you guys. Stay in school.